As you know, we have Katie Graham and Andrew Matthews, the directors of the film. We also have Sam Gibson, star of Zero First Love. I hope I pronounced that right. You should, stand behind your chairs. Get cozy.
Yeah.
This feels so official.
Thanks, guys, for coming
Yeah,
out.
thank you so much. Yeah, thank you guys. Outstanding.
Right off the bat, who the hell would think to make a movie about Dungeons and Dragons playing? What in your 3-year campaign, at what point did you think this is cinematic?
I guess it wasn't. It was never a cinematic idea. I mean, when you make a movie for a little bit of money, you know it's going to be a lot of talking.
It's a talkie.
It's a talkie. And so, I mean, I thought that, to me, that's an interesting, watching people sit and talk about this kind of stuff. And actually, Katie is not a gamer. I've been playing Dungeons and Dragons for a long time, and Katie, my partner, we're also engaged and filmmaking partners, but she's not, and that actually ended up being a really good match because she could read the script and go, this is way too nerdy, I don't understand what this part means. So she kept it in line from being too talky.
Yeah, but it really, it originated with the character. We liked the character. We kind of wanted this know-it-all nerd character. We went to South by in 2009 with a documentary we worked on, and
what documentary was that?
that was called Best Worst Movie. That's a great film! And that was the first time we'd been to a film festival, and we were watching all these indie movies, and the leads were always, kind of hip 20-something guys, with love lives or trying to figure out their love life, and we were like, why don't we go the total opposite direction? So that was kind of it.
That's why they cast me.
Yeah, why was Sam that guy for you? Did you see something in Sam that you saw at your own tabletop?
Kind of. The character was based on some people I've known and somewhat myself, but we knew we wanted a type of guy who was kind of physically intimidating, a bigger guy, and sort of like a guy who's into metal. And so we actually saw Sam in a few Austin independent films in small roles, and we thought, oh, he's funny, and he kind of fits the physical type. So we asked him if he would help us make a short teaser trailer that we used to start a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo. Which is still floating around the internet somewhere. None of the footage in that has actually made it to the movie, but he was so awesome in that, and we made our crowdfunding goal, and we thought it's because he was so good in that, so we offered him the role.
Yeah, and we changed the script a little bit after we cast him, to change the script a little bit
To sort of tailor it to the actor.
Yeah.
And in what way?
I honestly don't remember.
Because the pre-Sam years.
I think we made him a little bit more, I guess you could say, sort of like a childlike vulnerability in there. We're kind of like an angry teenager type vibe to him. Yeah.
We actually told Sam to model the character a bit after John Bender in The Breakfast Club, just because it's kind of like a similar. That's kind of who we thought Scott would feel like inside, sort of vulnerable, but like
tough
exterior, So.
Sam, how important was it for you to have a understanding of Dungeons and Dragons on the level that your character does in this movie? And then perhaps you already had that knowledge.
You gotta watch what you say here.
Remember, we're Comic-Con.
I did not
Roll your
play
D20.
D&D before that, before the film. And I have never actually played a full game of D&D. But Andrew's the D&D guy. He knows all about it. I understand the being obsessed with something. I just never taken it to D&D. I play board games. I play Arkham Horror and Settlers of Catan and stuff like that. But never D&D. But I understand, like this level of commitment. I can understand that. So, but I didn't go full method. But Andrew was always there to kind of make sure we got all the details right.
He did ask to borrow my books, so
Right, I studied the handbooks.
I was like, I don't know if this is really going to help you, but
I didn't, yeah, it took a while to figure out what
Some light bathroom reading.
Yeah, lots of bathroom.
I think what's interesting about the movie, and you can shed light on this, I mean, how important do you think the game is to the fabric of this movie, to this character? Where do we, I mean, I've heard from you about balancing the actual D&D playing with an emotional story here, but how important is the game to this guy's life? And like, where do we see that and balancing all that writing?
The game is very important to his life, but ironically, if you probably like clocked the amount of time in the movie that is spent them playing the game, it's actually not that much, because when you're making a movie, you can't like spend all your time with them doing something that is not relevant to the emotional journey of the character. So we only include scenes of Dungeons and Dragons if there was something kind of going on in the gameplay that was an emotional turning point for him. So it's kind of that trick where you're like, we want to have this stuff in there, we want to be authentic, but we don't want people who aren't familiar with Dungeons and Dragons to not know what the hell's going on. So,
you know, I have a very particular dynamic with my D&D group. I have friends, but then I have my D&D group. Sam, can you talk a little bit about finding that? Well, what is that dynamic? Why is it different than just palling around with friends? And how do you guys find that?
It's different. I don't know.
We just sat around on set and talked.
Well, D&D, how is D&D different from...
We're like, talk about, I mean, you guys have a camaraderie in this movie,
Right.
and I imagine that being on the set, and in the way that you have to make a film on the level that Zero Prisma is, that there might be more intimacy there, that it might be easier to find that. And how did you guys find a dynamic?
Well, we did lots of rehearsals. That was very important. Like, we had a really scrunched schedule, so rehearsals were like infinitely important. So we had rehearsed the scenes so much that, you know, we had, all the guys in us, we kind of felt real comfortable with each other. And I know, I mean, there's scenes, you know, especially with Scott, he sort of alienates himself from the group. But it was important, yeah, to get that level, like, to believe that these guys have played, you know, a lot with each other.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
I remember we were kind of like mapping out like where he is the boss, and then where he is, you know, not in control, you know. So when he's being the character, you know, in his game, you know, that was, I think, fun for Sam to come up with voices and stuff, which I always wanted to do as a dungeon master. It's tough to
Performance.
keep. Yeah, it is. It's performing.
Where were those? Where did you find those voices, Sam?
That was the one
Where
thing.
in the head, in your head?
That was the one thing I was like, I can do that. I can do the, you know, because I mean I act and stuff, so I understand. Like, I mean, really, that's what D&D is. It's a performance, but I mean, it's like, you know, putting yourself in someone else's shoes and being able to like not live your life for a while. So I totally understand that, and that was probably my favorite part, was just like being able to be the, you know, the guard and captain of the guard, stuff like that. That was, yeah, it was a ton of fun.
Just like that's Scott's favorite.